got here about 20 after 9. I left my place.
Doesn't seem to be one for Diana.
Sorry to forget your name.
Somebody might have already.
Can you read?
These big ones, letters I can.
You want me to kiss him? Oh, there you go. Yeah, if you don't mind. Well, no, well, else fails whistle.
And I have distributed numbers, and table number 1 can go and have their brunch. That we're still able to come to these things and share some memories, good memories. I said this before and many times to other people. We're so fortunate to have grown up when we did, I think. We had the best of times, really the best of times. I also want to say a special hello from 3 of my friends who weren't here today. Ione Nunes, who lives in Kamloops, emailed me and said to say hi to everyone. And Donna Andrich and Rosemary Edel, we go out to lunch occasionally with Jeanette and have a good time and remember good things, but they chose not to come today. Last year and this year. Dave Naylor in January of last year. Brian Thompson in January of last year. Hilda Charlie in May. Maureen O'Reilly or Neil in November, and John Bennett in November. And
our database, I handle that, and sometimes could be problematic. We have 2 databases, one which I maintain on my computer, and the other one we can contain on our website. For the most part, they're exactly the same. We have a big loss list. I'm sure some of the loss lists are people who've already deceased, but we don't know about it. But we keep losing somebody every year. We send out, we try to contact you if we have an address for you or an email. Our first preference is an email, and if we can't get to you that way and we have a valid address, we will send out a letter to you. Due to Ed Jackson, I think it was Ed who suggested it. He said, if you're going to have this lunch event, have it right at tax time. Because everybody comes back in town, you know, for March to get rid of their taxes. Then they go on their cruises and stuff. So this year we moved from the end of May up to the start of May, and we've got more people. So yeah, thank you for that. It's a good suggestion. I have one other thing I did want to cover with you. It's about the Barry Sullivan bursary fund, which we maintain. At the present time, we have $11,932 in that fund. So thank you for all of you who have contributed to that.
And your group for the invite for our 57s and whoever else is here. I just wanted to announce that we're having our 57 Grad 60th reunion in October. We're not as organized as you people, and that's why it's going to be in October. We've lost a lot of our addresses, phone numbers, and so forth. The gal I was looking after had some health issues and unfortunately lost her computer and everything. So any of you that know people from 57 or here there's some from 57, please contact us. Share the word around that we're going to have it. It's going to be October the 18th. It'll be here. Very similar to this.
Nice trip this year. We went to Hong Kong and we jumped on a ship there. And it stopped at about 4 different ports in Vietnam, and on to Cambodia, Thailand, and we ended up in Singapore. So if anybody is interested in that cruise, come and talk to me. It was beautiful, as long as you go at the right time of year.
Family, but we're hoping to go to Regina in 2 months to my granddaughter's graduation with the RCMP. So, other than that, I've been staying at home trying to keep the developers away from my door.
Living on the North Shore, never did believe it. Born and raised here, and best place in the world to live. And hey, life's great.
I stay around here too. I fish a lot. Fishing's fabulous, by the way. And everybody's wondering about Ron Bolton saying that I cook my eggs in vodka. It isn't really true.
More green side up. Those are even to us and everything's well. Good.
And my old First Nations friend, Seaweed Aquila, he used to say when I met him, "You make my heart come glad." So to all of you, you make my heart come glad.
Ellis Bradle. I just returned last Sunday actually from a 34-day trip from New Zealand back to Vancouver, and had a great time. Sorry we missed all the rain, but we had.
Joanne Mitchell Wedley. I think I've been Wedley longer than Mitchell, but anyway. I'll say no more, because loudmouth is ready to say.
I have nothing to say. No, I just, one big event for Joanne and I in the past year is we've relocated. We were out in Deer Ridge in West Vancouver. We've gone to one penthouse to another penthouse in the middle of Lonsdale. But the big task has been to downsize from about 2,400 square feet to 1,200 square feet. We ended up throwing a lot of stuff out, but it was a good thing. We're now happily resettled. We're enjoying our new location.
Margaret Dance Chalmers. I don't have anything more really to say other than the fact that I'm glad too that I'm still here on the top. And my heart is warmed when I see all of you too. And I'm glad and happy that I'm still able to be here and to talk and move around. Thank you all.
I'm Sharon Hogan, and I still live in the same home that my mother and dad bought in 1941 on the river. Maybe some of you remember that off the grid after grad party we had at my place. Still remember people coming out of the bushes in different states of intoxication and having a good time. Yeah, that's what it's about. I've had a varied life, and I've come back to take care of the homestead here. Lived off grid in the mountains for a couple of years, and it sure made me appreciate coming in and flipping the light switch and having lights, turning on the tap and having water instead of having to go and fetch it. But it's been a real journey for me to appreciate the kind of lifestyle that most of us enjoy before the new wave is on. But I'm sure.
Her name is Rowanson, and she lost her husband in the past 12 months. And but she's still living in Penticton.
Nice to see you, and I always feel good when I come here and see you, and I see everybody so able and so happy with smiles on their faces and everything. And I wouldn't want to live anywhere but North Vancouver. I'm sorry. I just have loved it here always. And I'm really thankful to be able to get up and around and see everybody and meet people. And I really think I've been blessed because I've just finished my second children's book.
I'm just gonna sit there. We live down in Esplanade in North Van. Been there for 10 years now.
But who are you? Who are you? Better tell us.
I'm a friend of Larry Terrace. Gordy Simpson. Anyway, the only exciting thing this year, Arlene and I took a trip to New Zealand, cruise around New Zealand, and had a wonderful time. The people in New Zealand complained about wondering when summer was going to start. And then we went over to Australia, where we have a friend who drove us around New South Wales for a couple of weeks. And the people of Australia wondering when summer was going to end because a couple of days were in the mid-40s. Anyway, you guys are enjoying snow.
When I started at the high school, there were 4 of us. And it's followed me around North Van my whole life. You know, I go to the doctor, which number are you? Anyways, we've had an interesting year. Pat pointed out to me on the way here, and I hadn't thought about it. We were out of the country last year for 3 months.
One thing that stands out on my mind is the wonderful, oh, my name is Nina Genjack. It's Nina Curl now. This is artificial. It's the website. I haven't contributed anything to it, but when my computer isn't in the hospital or something, I really enjoy visiting and posting. I wish I could figure out how to post some of my own artwork to compete with the other artists out there, but it is what it is.
Mark and I, this is my beloved husband, Mark, and I will say this, that every single minute of the day, we are aware that the time is shortening, and so we are very grateful for every second we can be together, and I'm very grateful to see all of you, and I would like to say that Mark and I were looking around at all of you, and of course he didn't grow up with you because he was in New York.
I take my grandchild and my daughter to Hawaii. My daughter has had quite a few health problems. At the moment she's doing very well, so every time I get a chance I whip her away from the house, the dog, the job, the husband, and the kid. So we went to Spokane and we had 3 days and it was a blissful time, a wonderful time.
Years after us. We still live on the North Shore, the same house that we bought when we graduated from UBC, and have no intention of moving. We spend a lot of time in California with our daughter and in the summer on our sailboat, and had a wonderful trip this past year to Ireland. We drove right around, staying in bed and breakfast, and looking forward to sailing again this summer.
Down there. And the rest of the time around here where I chase golf balls and hit tennis balls. And that's about my life. The only highlight is my wife has talked me into going on a river cruise in September, where we start in Budapest and go down to Amsterdam. And it kind of concerns me because it's costing more than my first house did.
Can drive again. I've been out to see my great grandson for the provincial gymnastics, and I'm hoping to go to Iceland in August. So
Atta
very
girl.
good to see you and love seeing everybody.
I agree, we all look good.
My name's David. Now close your eyes. Open them. My name's Jim. I'm very glad to be here. It's just, I think it's a special gathering for all of us. Not only a link with the past, but also with the present, to see you and enjoy this special meal, and to give thanks for all those who put their energy into keeping us in line or out of line, one way or the other. We have all our kids on the island now, which is great. We didn't steal anybody from Lynn Valley because they didn't live there. But we're having a great time. We ski out Mount Washington and enjoy life, and we're going to celebrate our 50th birthday of one of our sons in Hawaii.
In Spain with Rick Steves this summer. one of the things I think we all want to consider is next year is going to be our 60th, and what are we going to do for that? So maybe anybody has any ideas, please pass them on to myself or Marg or Bill. We're looking forward to next year too, and whether we stay with the same format or do something a little more.
I'm of the class of '58, and I wasn't very well known amongst my...
Sit down then.
So before Larry Harris asked me to introduce myself, it's Don Homer. For some of you folks that may have forgotten because of my age. Anyway, we haven't done a lot this year because
His lovely wife.
Sorry,
All about him.
married the wrong bride. Anyway, I didn't notice she was with me. Anyway, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by my loving wife, we haven't done a lot this year because we've run into a few health problems, as some of us here have done so. And so, you know, the trips to Hawaii and Palm Springs and to the boat cruises are a thing of the past for the moment. The last cruise we were on, I guess it was with the Thompsons. Diane and Brian Thompson, of course, he's gone now. That was a couple of years ago. So it's nice to see you all again. And Larry, I'm glad to see that you're here and to remember me this time. At the end of the week, I was MC at the SOB Club. Some old boys, not some old bastards. But anyway, he forgot my name after 60 years and he asked me to introduce myself.
My lovely wife, Ginny. And last year we said we were going on a cruise and I wanted to know what the difference was going to be being on the back of the ship or the front of the ship. Well, the back of the ship, as you will find out, is extremely expensive. But we had our own butler and a maid. And then I thought about it. When I was at the front of the ship, I had my own butler. I didn't have a maid. Yeah. And you see so much more scenery at the front because you see it all. When you're at the back, nobody seems to look out. We travel at night, and you know, and every little town's about the same. As I asked some of the staff, if they ever get to go ashore, they say, "What for?" Every town looks the same.
Fortunately, I had Don home to stuff the ballot box with his King's ACs. My highlight of the year is Tuesday and Thursday morning. I have Don Homer and Ron Price in my exercise class, and I watch them in the mirror. They're so uncoordinated. You would think after 2 years we would have the routines established, but they're not. They're all over the place. I'm enjoying my life in lawn bowling, and if you ever want to take a good sport that's relaxing and you can play into your 90s.
February 20th, I went into St. Paul's, spent 8 days in there, and they threw a piece of me away out of my my heart apparatus. And here I am now. I feel okay, and I am not broke like I would be if I was down in Trump land. And I'm damn lucky to be a Canadian.
I'd like to mention that was so great. We resurrected the website and gave it a life. Another couple of years, and the more we use it, the more we'll appreciate it and support it next time around. I watched my friend here go through his little thing, and I also have another friend in Vancouver, Victoria, that has had the same operation for quadruple bypass. And afterwards, he was talking to a friend of his who was a Muslim. And he said to this friend, you know, I've taken a pig's valve in the operation to be effective. And he said, as far as trips go, the 50th I did with Lois, who some of you have seen from time to time. And it train trip across South Africa with Rovus, you will never find another like it. This year we went to San Miguel de Allende in Mexico. You don't like beaches, but you like mountains, go there. You don't even have to land in the States to get there. My friend Peter here, I haven't seen Peter for probably 1959. He left here to go traveling around the world. He went down to New Zealand and then got together again here. Anyway, it's great to be here. I see Peter McNair over there, who I know, and Gordy Simpson over there, who we know. Thank you.
I won't take long because as a public speaker, I'm paid by the pound, so. The best thing that ever happened to me in my life is here. She's hiding under the table. This is Valerie, my wife. She's a foreigner. She comes from Lord Bing, but anyway. So I'm actually quite elated today. I was going through the obituaries and I didn't come across my name, so that's a plus right there. Anyway, that said, we've gone together on some very nice trips. But as I get older, I find more and more my trips are now to the washrooms.
59 an opportunity.
Yes.
Since Earl had a chance for 57, is there anyone else from 57 here?
Yes, there is, leading it out.
Nickname Sandy, that's a long time ago. I've used that name for over 60 years. But,
We're still using it.
Yeah, I know. Not much to say. I'm going to take a nice trip this year, though, in next spring. My son and I are flying into Chicago and taking the old trip down Route 66, if you remember the old highway. We're doing it in a 63 Corvette, same as that old TV show. And we're going to stop at Monument Valley because John Wayne was one of my favorite actors. Where he made all his westerns. And, other places, Rushmore and of course Grand Canyon. It's a great trip, and it's down the old highway, not the new one, which they have now.
I love coming to these things. Jeanette said to me, she said, Larry, you know or remember more people in my year than she remembers. So I love coming and enjoy it very much.
And Ron Holden and Kenny Madison, the only ones here that of my year. And I've traveled quite a bit in my time, but I got a job now that I get to boss men around all day long on a golf course, and it works for me. Thanks.
Thank you to Bill and Joanne for including us again. 59, we got a few more representatives this year. My dear old friend Sheila Snyder, who I haven't seen since, well, I don't know how many years, Sheila. Can't even count that high. And Richard and I have had wonderful trips all over the world, but now we're happily settled in North Vancouver, where I was born, I live, and I die, with our 2 cats and Joanne and Bill's bedspread.
Field, and then and most of that was spent in either northern BC or in Squamish. And in Squamish, I was blessed to meet my new husband, Bob Daly, in '94, and when we were married in
2001.
This year, our daughter turns 50. And I'm not old enough to have a 50-year-old daughter.
I got a 53-year-old daughter. I also have 2 great-granddaughters. Quick side note, Teddy Wilcox and I come together. We went back to vocational school in 1960. And I used to park my car in front of Mason Jolly's beauty salon. Who remembers Mason Jolly?
Right, yes.
Anyway, we parked there, and there was 2 apprentice hairdressers that we used to sit outside and rev the pipes up and honk the horn to the attention. Long story short, my wife's been hairdressing for 60 years, and we met at that time, and the rest is history.
Yes,
I'm doing a flyby.
Uh-oh.
Look out.
Flying
Here we
Phil.
go.
Here
Yeah,
comes
I'm just
Phil.
coming through.
Flying
Just-
Phil.
Look out, look out. Here he comes. Don't touch me.
Oh, no, I took him over there. Oh, good.
Oh, no, but who do we have to write checks to?
Oh, just this place.
Okay.
Or you want to me, because I'll put it goes in my
Yeah. I guess you have to be a skier to appreciate that kind of press.
I'm sure they're good.
Looks like these guys have got nowhere to go, so.
Yeah, just a little bit. We're going to see.
Well, just about over now. And here's the man that made it all possible. Again.
Okay, we'll see you guys.